set it on the table.
You're good. Welcome. It's Jennifer Johnson with Jennifer to the Rescue. And yes, I am your
lyrical appreciation expert. And it is the middle of the summer and it's beautiful outside and it's wonderful here at Logan Street Signs and Banners and the Wofford Theater. I always used to get that confused, the Wofford Banners and Signs, but it's Signs and Banners. Did you know that? No. Check out JenniferToTheRescue.com. We are actually evolving that website quite a bit. A lot of things going on, and I am so excited when I get to
come here every week and share what's going on. And I know my guest, but they don't know you. So I would like to introduce my very good friend and business referral partner and just a good old person. Good person.
Darn, here we
old.
Go. Already.
It's already.
Okay.
That's good. Lynn Yates, and she is an attorney at law, and with Lynn M. Yates and Associates. And for more, I read this morning. For more than 20 years, Lynn has been working with families and small businesses as a trusted and reliable advisor. And she handles estate planning, wills, trusts, probate, pre- and post-nuptial agreements, and small business, everything as you say, but startups, contracts, employee manuals, ownership agreements, dispute resolution. And the reason that I read this morning in a copy, you're not old enough to be in the law world.
I actually am. In fact, I was 29 when I started law school, so don't do the math. But I am a good old person.
And I didn't read it that way at all. But welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm very happy to have you here. It took us a little while to get you here, so I'm glad that
it worked out today. And who is Lynn Yates?
Well, I am Indiana born and bred. I lived in Europe for 7 years, came back to the U.S. in 2010, and even during those years when I was in Europe, I was still practicing law with my clients here in Indiana.
It was probably difficult, wasn't it?
Well, time differences, and people were just starting to use the internet.
Right.
But we were able to get a lot done, and people will do anything rather than find a new lawyer. Even struggle with the time difference and all that. I think, the nature of my practice is that I have long relationships with client families and businesses, and they do not want to have to change. So I was lucky enough to hang on to most of the clients and complete the work that they needed to get done during annual trips back to the U.S. and so forth. But I started, as I said, law school when I was 29. So my first career was as a corporate trainer.
Oh.
And that, it always went up and down with the market. So I had always wanted to go to law school, but just with following my husband's career and that sort of thing, wasn't near a law school. Finally, we got back to Indianapolis from North Carolina, and here was IU Law School in Indianapolis, and so I thought, I'm going to start my family. I'm going to switch careers, and so I was one of those people pregnant in law school, and it worked out great. I had both my kids while I was going to school, and then started the career, and as the little blurb says that you just read, I've been doing it for 20 years.
Okay, did you say what you did before law?
Tell me again.
Corporate trainer.
Corporate trainer. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
I had a master's degree in English from Purdue, and there aren't very many writing jobs to do in the world, but corporate trainer is a pretty good one.
Oh, wow.
So it was fun, but it also enabled me to learn a lot about a broad range of business and corporate activities, so that while I was in law school, everything meant more to me because I had seen a lot about how the inner workings were of corporate life, which I think was better than just going straight out of college when you don't, you haven't really experienced much. I think it makes it easier to learn when you've got something under your belt. Also, we have a large family farm out in Plainfield, so there were some issues that came up over the years with that made me understand a lot more about land ownership and succession planning and estate issues pertaining to property. And also, we owned a small business
during the early years. It was a camera shop down in Greenwood.
Really?
And that also taught me about,
the little nuts and bolts of running a small business.
Right, and the life lessons that you learn. You just can never, the value of that. So you have 2 kids?
Yep. I have a daughter, Laura, who's 24, and I have a son, John, who's 22. Hi, kids.
They're watching. Yeah, that's right. She didn't even
Pay me or anything to bring that up.
Yeah,
That's
my
pretty
son
cool.
is in his last semester at Clemson University down in South Carolina,
Wow.
getting an electrical engineering degree. And my daughter graduated last spring from Bentley University near Boston, and she studied economics and environmental sustainability, and now she's getting ready to start a master's down at IU in Bloomington. They have one of the premier programs in environmental science and public policy.
Oh,
so we'll see what
goodness.
she's going to do. I know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they've done the most with a lot of good experiences that they were exposed to growing up and living abroad and all that sort of thing.
So you have a
I'm
fun
proud of them.
life.
Yeah.
Yes, you should be very proud
Yeah,
of
and they
them.
learned law while I was carrying them, so.
That's why they're so
That-
smart.
yeah.
They got it all. They got it before
They've been
they
hearing
even...
me talk since they were little peanuts.
That's pretty cool. Just so you know, the email is up there, lynnmyates@gmail.com. Now, we did put your phone number up there, too. I don't know that you...
That's fine, I do take phone calls.
Do you? I know a lot of times we're communicating with emails back and forth. And I think one of the reasons I've known you for a couple of years, and I send everybody that ever even crosses, I would trust you. I mean, obviously, we're part of a networking group that we're very happy to be part of, and interesting things happening there. And just put a name with the group here today. So we'll be sharing more about that as things go along. Hopefully that'll all fall in place. But Lynn does small business everything, estate planning, small business everything, which we detailed. And we're going to take a little time, maybe if you don't mind, we have a short break coming up here, but estate planning, one that you really think is really important before we take the short break. Do you have one of those elements that you could say is like?
I would say that what is unique about my law practice is the fact that I'm not with a large firm.
Exactly.
I am independent, and I can make decisions on how to practice law for people in my own way, set my own fees, flexible hours, go to where people are instead of making them, if someone's going to do a will, they have 2 little kids, they both work all day. I go to their house at 7 p.m. and we sit down and go through their information there.
You were in Europe for 7 years and you kept your clients. You're doing something very, very right. We're actually going to have a short break, and we're going to come back and talk with you more about maybe some of the other things that you want to definitely let everybody know how to get a hold of you, but also the things that you're really have a passion for. How about that? Okay.
Great.
We'll be right back with Jennifer to the rescue and Lynn Yates, my guest.
When Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage: Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore. You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street Signs and Banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Welcome back. We're here, Jennifer Johnson, Jennifer to the rescue, with my wonderful guest and good friend, Lynn Yates, attorney at law. And we're here thanking our sponsors one more time, Logan Street Signs and Banners, and here at the Wofford Theater. And definitely, we would like to pick up our conversation with Lynn. She does estate planning and small business everything. That's why I always remember you saying small business everything. So we were talking before that you are a one-woman team. I don't want it to, because you do all kinds of things. And we talked about for 7 years you kept your clients even while you were out of the country, how you did that, but obviously you were doing something right.
Yeah.
So what would you like to, tell us or share with us about your small business everything and your estate planning?
I think when, many of my generation decided to become lawyers after they watched To Kill a Mockingbird,
Oh, really?
Just
That's a good point.
Well, the time when I was growing up in the 60s, there was a lot of craziness going on. So you see this movie and you see somebody, standing up
Right.
for justice, and it's really inspiring. So, but then as I went through law school, having 2 little kids and having a husband with a big job,
Right.
I kind of reallocated what my interests were in. I knew I wasn't going to be a criminal lawyer. I just didn't have that calling. And I didn't want to be tied down to the schedule that when you're a new associate in a law firm, you're working 70 hours a week, and and you have to do that for many years before you're accepted into a firm. So I decided to stay small and independent, and I've even gotten smaller. Now I'm doing what I call the young Abe Lincoln model, where my law office is in my home.
Beautiful home, if I may say so.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
It was renovated with an idea of having, there's a nice parking court out front for clients.
Yes.
And when I need people to assist me, I hire them. One of the girls in our network has helped before. My daughter has helped before. And my son also. So,
Family affair.
I just, every once in a while, I'll need a witness for a will. But as I said, I also am pleased to go to my clients' places of business, or we go meet at a CPA's office, or, but for some things, it really is nice to have that intimate setting at home. It's versatile, depending on what the client needs, where I go.
Well, how convenient is that when you have 2 working parents and you've got little kids and you know that there's no way
How's that
except to
going to
go
work
in
that out? The
evening, so-
babysitter and are you going to get off work in time? And
Right.
And then, did you bring the right documents with you, and that sort of thing. And not that I, want to be out traveling all the time, but in special cases like that, then it's fine for me to go. Obviously, if it's estate planning for a retired person, they're happy to, come to my house, and we'll go through their things and use the dining room becomes the conference room when it's time to spread out the documents and sign them and that sort of thing.
Beautiful rooms.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I've been there. I get actually speaking from knowledge. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. You said estate planning. Estate planning. There was something I was going to say. Did I cut you off though? You were.
Well, I just was going to talk about the practice areas that I went into are the ones that I love.
Yes. Yes. Good.
And so based on that early experience of, seeing my family farm and the changes it went through over the years, the small business that we owned, I really love working with entrepreneurs. I love startups, and I like helping people, get it to the next level. And my fees are geared for small business people. My costs are low. I don't have a big office in a skyscraper where I have to pay huge rent. So the fees are fair based on the fact that I have 20 years of experience, but also keeping in mind that not everybody wants to pay $400 an hour for a lawyer. So it's kind of an underserved segment of the population. Vast majority of people no longer have wills done because they're kind of put off by the legal industry. How much is it going to cost me? What is it going to involve? And all that sort of thing. So I just try to run a very transparent, shop where we know up front what it's going to be.
Right.
I bill conscientiously. I don't ask you about your kids and then, keep the clock running during that time. I've been billed that way before in the past, and I just, so it's a business to business kind of thing. I'm a small business person. I want to keep a reputation, and I treat my clients accordingly. And that's not to say that sometimes, because I am a one-woman show, sometimes things happen in life that I can't get your stuff done the same day you ask me for it. But, we get it done when we can, and it works out. And I'm fortunate in having an excellent client base, and it's growing too. Since I came back from Europe in 2010, it's really taken off, and a large part through the business networking that we've done together.
Yes.
You kind of
Can I allude to
grabbed me around the collar and took me
Yes,
on
I
in
did.
and said, let's do this.
And I just remember you were just a friendly person. I don't even know that I knew what you're into. Well, I did, I guess, but this has been a couple of years ago. You do the right thing. You were being friendly at this event. I invited you, and then there was a benefit to be part of that group for you, and it all works, and doing the right thing is what we're all about. Can I say what the name of the group is?
Yes.
Okay. She's in charge of our...
Well, not.
We're not in charge. We are actually doing... We've just decided on the name. It's Northside Networking. And
Inc., an Indiana nonprofit
Inc.,
corporation.
yes, Inc. And we're very excited because Lynn has actually been leading us through setting it up as a nonprofit, which we're very excited about. And we certainly hope... we do have some Facebook presence out there and some different things, and there will be a page on the network. But you can reach Lynn that way, or you can contact her through her email there at lynnmyates@gmail.com, and her phone number is up there as well. What tidbits would you leave? We've talked about, you do a lot of stuff.
Well, and I am a general practitioner. Again, that's the young Abe Lincoln model.
Right.
If you
I
come
like
in and
that. That's cool.
you have a myriad of general problems that are not out of the ordinary for a lawyer to handle. But if somebody has a super specialized situation or they need to go into litigation, then I have a network of people, attorneys that I refer out to. And they're people that I know will take excellent care of my clients while they are with. So,
Right.
I'm not the neurosurgeon. I'm the GP. But 80% of what people need, in those areas of law are things that I can handle.
Yes,
So.
and she knows what she does, and she knows who to send you to for the stuff that she doesn't feel as or she doesn't do every day.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I would just like to say that we're very happy we're here, and I always forget to share my little. I do a radio show on Thursdays from RadioNext.tv. I am on the Cool Groove stream, and sometime we'll have Lynn come on there, as well as a number of our other members of our group, our
Maybe we
networking
can
group.
sing a duet.
We're going to be doing a lot of music there.
Some
and
Andrews sisters. or
yeah,
something.
there you go. See, we do the music. I try to leave every week with what I call my weekly upbeat, and I knew that it was going to be a good friend of mine, a wise woman, and this is Maya Angelou, and I just tend to go to her. She has a lot of wonderful ones. A wise woman wishes to be no one's enemy. A wise woman refuses to be anyone's victim. And if you have been listening here, this woman is a very wise woman, and I'd like to believe I am as well. But anyway, we'll see you next week, and thank you, Lynn, for being our guest. And
Thank you,
we're going to
Jennifer.
have you back, I promise, soon. And thank you very much. See you next time. Jennifer to the rescue.